Yo, this one gonna break the internet again. The battle might be over, but the aftermath? It's just getting started. Word just broke from some very close industry insiders that Drake has officially ended his partnership with none other than Kendrick Lamar's longtime booking agent. Yeah, you heard that right. After taking that very public lip champagne, Poppy is making major moves behind the scenes, and it's looking like he's clearing house, cutting ties, and rewriting the rules of who sits at his table. And while Drake hasn't dropped an official statement, sources close to OVO say this wasn't just business, it was personal. Insiders claim Drizzy felt blindsided when the same agent who was booking stages, festivals, and behind-the-scenes deals for both camps didn't warn him about Kendrick's Not Like Us rollout. Allegedly, that track dropped like a missile and left Drake wondering who knew what and when. And now, heads are rolling, fans are losing it, Twitter's on fire. Some are saying this move proves Drake's still salty from taking that lyrical gut punch, while others claim it's just good business. Why keep someone close who's helping the op win the war? But get this, there's another twist. Word in the industry is that this booking agent isn't just losing Drake, but might also be flipping camps completely. Rumors suggest Kendrick's team is offering her an exclusive position moving forward. If true, that's a chess move with long-term consequences for both artists. So is Drake drawing a line in the sand? Is this about loyalty, betrayal, or damage control? One thing's for sure, when kings fall, the empire shakes. And this move? It just sent shockwaves across the entire industry. Stay tuned, because the drama ain't done yet. It all started with a phone call, one that wasn't supposed to be heard by anyone outside a select circle. But once that news hit the wire, everything shifted. Insiders close to OVO confirmed it. Drake had officially severed ties with booking powerhouse Erica Reigns, the same woman who had, for nearly a decade, quietly managed tour dates, festival negotiations, and exclusive appearances for not just Drake, but Kendrick Lamar too. Her name might not ring bells for the casual fan, but in the industry, she was a quiet giant. She booked the biggest stages, moved in silence, and had both artists in the palm of her hand. Until now, Drake's move didn't come with a public announcement or a press release. No tweets. No respectfully parted ways. Just silence and a sudden removal of her access to all OVO tour planning and venue communications. It was swift, surgical, cold, the kind of move that don't just end business relationships. It sends messages. The whispers started immediately. Folks at Live Nation were talking. People in Kendrick's camp were buzzing. One source said, it wasn't even about the booking, it was about trust. Drake felt played. Because here's what allegedly happened. Weeks before Kendrick dropped his now iconic diss track, Not Like Us, Reigns was involved in last-minute bookings for a surprise West Coast festival. Turns out, that surprise festival was the same night Kendrick performed the diss live for the first time, complete with a stage set made to look like a funeral for Drake's career. Now imagine being Drake. Your own booking agent helped negotiate the deal for the event where your rival buries you on stage. Insiders say Drake didn't find out until the footage hit social media. The moment he saw Kendrick's performance, with the dancers and owl masks, the funeral props, and that brutal line about Six God getting sent back to the heavens, he allegedly threw his phone across the room. He felt blindsided, said one source. He thought she was loyal. But here's the twist that really got the streets talking. Reigns wasn't just doing business with Kendrick on the side. She'd apparently been closer to Piggy Lang than anyone realized. Some folks claim she was spotted at Kendrick's private victory dinner the night after. Not Like Us broke Spotify records. No photos, no tags, just word of mouth and blurry shots from the back of the restaurant. The fact that she was even in the building had OVO on edge. By the next morning, Drake's camp moved fast. Emails were cut off. Her access to the upcoming international tour was revoked. Some say a full audit of her past bookings was initiated. Drake was hurt, said another insider, not just as a businessman, but as a friend. She was in the room during some of his biggest moments, And now she helping the man who just cooked him on a global stage. This ain't the first time Drake has cleaned house after a loss. Fans remember what happened after Pusha A.T. exposed the secret child. Folks who were close one week were ghosts the next. Drake's loyalty runs deep until he feels betrayed. And once he does, it's exile, no second chances. But Erica Reigns wasn't just a name on a contract. She was a bridge between two of the most powerful forces in hip-hop. Her exit leaves a power vacuum, and the industry is already scrambling to see who fills that void. But more importantly, what side she lands on. And that's where things get even messier. Because right now, multiple sources are claiming that Reigns has already begun formal talks with PG Lang for an exclusive partnership. One source went as far as to say she's flipping, full on, she's choosing a side, and it's Kendrick's. And why wouldn't she? Kendrick's never been hotter. His diss won the internet. The streets love him. The charts back him up. And he did all that while remaining almost completely silent online. He didn't play the internet games. He let the music speak, and it devastated his opponent. Reigns allegedly believes in that vision. Some say she told people in her circle, Kendrick is the future. Ovo's got legacy, but P. Lang's got movement. That quote alone sent Twitter into a frenzy. Ovo fans started dragging her, calling her disloyal. Others said Drake should have seen it coming, but there's another layer that's even wilder. Because if she flips fully to Kendrick's camp, she's bringing more than just booking experience. She's bringing intel. This woman knows venue preferences, contract loopholes, back-end percentages, and even festival leverage that could shift power dynamics. Some folks are calling her the industry's secret weapon. If Kendrick's team locks her down, it's not just a win, it's a strategic blow to everything Drake has built over the past decade. And Drake knows it. A close OVO producer was caught liking shady tweets about betrayal. Another OVO team member posted a story with a snake emoji and watch who you trust. Even Drake's barber reposted a meme of someone getting backstabbed while smiling. Petty? Maybe. Calculated? Definitely. Because Drake's not just mourning the loss, he's setting the narrative. He's letting the world know this wasn't just business falling apart. This was personal. And fans? Oh, they're eating it up. Social media has been in full-blown chaos. TikTok creators are making timelines breaking down Reigns' movements the past 3 months. Some are pulling receipts from festivals, tracking which stages she helped book. Twitter is full of screenshots comparing past bookings and venue overlaps. Even Reddit's got threads speculating on whether she secretly helped orchestrate the Not Like Us rollout by ensuring Kendrick had the perfect stage, crowd, and timing. Some fans are even going deeper. They're pointing out that this could have been a long-play revenge plot by PG Lang. Drake called Kendrick out in first-person shooter and thought it was light work, one post read. But Kendrick played the long game. And Reigns, she was the pawn that turned queen. And if that wasn't enough, there's already talk that Kendrick's next move might involve announcing a full arena tour, with Erica Reigns at the helm. If that gets confirmed, it's game over for subtlety. It'll be clear to the whole world that she didn't just get cut from OVO, she defected. Drake's next steps are being watched like a hawk. Fans are wondering if he'll try to spin the block and drop another track, if he'll address it on his next album, or if he'll go full subliminal like he did with Meek Mill. Some believe he'll rebrand, go silent for a few months and come back stronger. Others think this loss was too big, too personal, that this cut won't heal quickly. And then there's the industry politics. Other artists are watching carefully. Because what happened with Erica Reigns wasn't just messy, it was historic. It proved that in 2025, loyalty is fluid, alliances are fragile, and one move from behind the scenes can shake the whole culture. The fallout from Erica Reigns' exit was immediate and widespread. Within just 48 hours of the leak, whispers turned into confirmations. Multiple venues pulled OVO branding from upcoming summer tour promo material. Vendors, stage crews, and even Latin designers who had worked with Reigns under OVO contracts were suddenly left in the dark. Word on the street was simple. If you were part of her network, you were either now with P. Lang or with nobody. The lines were drawn, and folks had to pick a side, fast. What made the situation even more explosive was the silence from the top. Drake wasn't saying a word. No interviews, no shade-filled Instagram captions, not even a studio leak to distract the fans. And for someone who once weaponized social media with surgical precision, this new stillness felt almost dangerous, like a storm that's building behind the scenes. Fans started calling it the calm before the clapback. Others feared it meant something worse, that maybe, just maybe, Drake was feeling the pressure in a way he hadn't before. Because let's be real, this wasn't just a beef anymore. This was infrastructure damage. Drake's empire had cracks in its foundation, and Reigns knew exactly where every bolt and brick had been placed. One venue manager in Texas said, "She built the entire skeleton of Drake's last 3 tours. She knows every clause, every contact, every backup vendor. It's like losing the architect halfway through construction." And Kendrick? Oh, he was moving quietly, but strategically. He posted nothing, said nothing, but somehow every single move his team made screamed louder than a diss track. Erica Reigns was reportedly spotted touring several major arenas on the West Coast, not with a clipboard, but with a full production team. Stage design, lighting schemes, sound check logistics, the whole nine. Insiders claim she was already laying the groundwork for a PG Lang festival series, something that could grow into a permanent brand, not just a tour, a movement. And just like that, the playing field shifted. Because if Reigns helps Kendrick establish a cell-phone touring platform, he won't need third-party bookers, Live Nation, or even label-backed show investments. He'll be free completely. And that kind of independence is a threat to everyone who's made millions keeping artists on strings. Meanwhile, fans online were doing their own detective work. Reddit threads exploded with charts mapping out booking schedules from the past year, trying to find the moment Reigns switched sides. One thread pointed to a mysterious trip she took to Ghana. Around the same time, Kendrick was shooting visuals for The Heart Part 5. They even found a blurry photo of her in the background of a Pag Lang shoot. Coincidence? Maybe. Betrayal? That's what Drake's fans believe. But then came the real kicker, a leaked voice note allegedly from someone deep inside the OVO camp. In the clip, a voice sounding suspiciously like one of Drake's longtime tour managers says she was feeding him info, low-key, stuff about ticket sales, market softness, even what days Drake was planning drops. She gave Kendrick a blueprint. The audio spread like wildfire. Within hours, the tag Erica Gate was trending. TikTok flooded with skits, reactions, and fake courtroom memes. Some were clowning Drake, others were dragging Reigns. But no one could deny the chaos she left in her wake. And then, out of nowhere, a new Kendrick billboard appeared in Toronto. No logo, no words, just a giant Peg Lang symbol lit in red. Positioned just 2 blocks from OVO's flagship store, fans lost it. Bloggers called it a declaration of dominance. Some believed it was petty, others saw it as psychological warfare. And in typical Kendrick fashion, he never confirmed or denied it. Drake's inner circle, though, started getting restless. A few OVO affiliates started unfollowing each other. One of his backup dancers posted a story with the caption, "Smiles in your face, contracts behind your back." The vibe wasn't just tense, it was full paranoia. People began questioning everyone. Was there another defector? Who else had ties to Peg Lang? The thing about betrayal is once it starts, it spreads like wildfire. Erica Reigns, meanwhile, kept quiet. Not a tweet, not a press release, not even a vague quote reposted from Oprah's Instagram. But insiders say she's building something big, and it's not just for Kendrick. Allegedly, she's recruiting a new roster of artists who want out of the system. Artists tired of depending on labels for tour funding, tired of the politics, tired of watching gatekeepers eat off their creativity. And let's be honest, if Raines builds an alt-industry booking powerhouse under PG Lang's flag, that could flip the entire entertainment structure, especially if she's using the same playbook she used with Drake, but upgraded. One of Kendrick's longtime collaborators, who asked to stay anonymous, told a blog, "She got vision, and Kendrick respects vision. She not just booking shows, she booking legacy. But not everyone's cheering for her. A few major promoters started blacklisting her name. One even sent a mass email calling her unstable and emotionally unfit for high-pressure logistics." Fans weren't buying it, though they saw it for what it was, retaliation. The boys' club closing ranks, trying to make an example out of the one person who stepped off the yacht and built her own raft. But Raines ain't alone. Rumors are flying that she's in talks with major tech investors to build a touring app, one that removes labels and promoters from the equation entirely. Direct-to-venue booking, artist-controlled ticketing, and with Kendrick as the flagship, that's a revolution waiting to happen. And where does that leave Drake? He's been spotted in the studio, hoodie on, head down, locked in. Fans believe he's working on his own version of Ether, something to shake the game. Others say he's planning a comeback tour so massive it'll dwarf the headlines. But one thing's clear, he's not just fighting Kendrick anymore. He's fighting a new structure. A new blueprint, one built by the very person who once helped him build his own empire. And as the war quietly rages on, fans are watching every move, from billboard placements to tour announcements, from Spotify updates to silent unfollows. Because this ain't about bars anymore, it's about power. By the time of this industry saga began, things had reached a boiling point. Drake's silence was starting to feel strategic, not just the kind of silence that comes from embarrassment, but the kind that happens right before a storm. Fans were restless. Was he plotting something? A diss? A business move? Or had Kendrick and Erica Raines truly taken the wind out of his empire? Behind closed doors, Drake's camp was reportedly in recovery mode. Several trusted voices inside OVO were said to be calling for a full restructure of his touring division. Meetings were held in Toronto, Miami, and London. Contracts were reviewed, booking partners reassessed, and one major player in the Europe leg of the tour pulled out, citing conflicting brand priorities, which fans immediately interpreted as fallout from Raines' exit. Meanwhile, Erica Raines was moving with power, grace, and a vengeance that had people calling her the female Suge Knight, but with class. She wasn't throwing chairs or making threats. She was doing something even more dangerous, winning over trust. Whispers confirmed she was already finalizing deals with not just Kendrick, but 3 other major independent acts who had grown frustrated with label politics. Artists who once waited months to get approval for tours were now being handed a direct line to venues and promoters, courtesy of Raines' new outfit. Rumored to be called ARC Core, the name alone had fans talking. ARC, they said, could stand for Artist Route Control, a quiet nod to taking back ownership of the tour process. If true, that would mean Raines wasn't just poaching clients, she was flipping the whole structure of the booking world. And with Peglang as her flagship client, the power shift was undeniable. Kendrick, for his part, remained silent. He hadn't dropped a single word, and yet his presence was everywhere. Ads were showing up in cities he hadn't toured in years. Promo vans painted in Peglang's logo popped up in Atlanta, Houston, New York, even London. Fans started suspecting a world tour was imminent. Others believed he was building toward a Peglang festival, something that would rival Coachella, Rollin' Loud, even OVO Fest. But what made the situation nuclear was when one of Drake's former promoters, known only by his alias Vito, spoke to a blogger and dropped a bombshell. "Yo," he said, "you know what really pissed Drake off? It wasn't even that Raines left. It was when she left. She was in the room for a lot of talks. Brand deals, rollouts, visuals. She saw the whole plan. And the second Kendrick dropped that diss, she vanished, like poof, took her iPad, and disappeared." Vito claimed she had access to unreleased tour designs, security layouts, and even a list of surprise guests Drake had lined up for his 2025 arena tour. "She ain't just leave," he said. She stripped the playbook on the way out. The backlash was fierce. OVO fans called her disloyal. Industry heads started debating whether this was fair game or a betrayal. But artists? Oh, they started watching closely, because for the first time, the power wasn't with the labels. It was with someone who could make or break a tour without ever stepping into a booth. Then came the next strike. Erica Reigns was spotted at a private dinner in Los Angeles with none other than Frank Ocean, Ezya, and Baby Keem. No phones allowed, but someone from the restaurant leaked the guest list. Fans lost their minds. 3 of the most elusive artists in the game meeting with Reigns right after she flipped from OVO. Some folks said it was a peg-lang dinner. Others claimed it was a meeting to plan a cross-genre, all-black, independent artist tour that would destroy the traditional label tour system. Imagine a tour headlined by Frank, Kendrick, Sa, and Keem, with no label interference, and Erica Reigns managing the entire back end. That's not a concert. That's a cultural event. But Drake wasn't sitting idle. Quietly, he began locking down deals of his own. His team was seen meeting with tech moguls from Spotify and Amazon. Insiders say he's working on an exclusive partnership, something that would tie ticket sales directly to music streaming data. Essentially, he's trying to cut out traditional booking agents by automating venue demand through real-time fan analytics. Some called it genius, others said it was desperation. Either way, it was a war of innovation now. But then came the moment. Erica Reigns' new team leaked a document to a trusted music outlet. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't even spicy. It was just a simple press brief titled, "The Future is Artist First." In it, she laid out a vision for how she planned to revolutionize the touring landscape through tech, transparency, and control. She didn't mention OVO, she didn't mention Drake, but the shade was there. No more surprise cuts, no more hidden clauses, no more artists finding out from fans that they were replaced on lineups. We're giving power back to the creators. Fans instantly decoded it as a shot at OVO, because back when the Kendrick beef hit its peak, Drake was accused of blocking features, buying placements, and strong-arming playlists. Reigns' statement felt like a call-out, even if she never said his name. And to make it worse, Peg Lang posted it on their socials with a single caption, "We don't play checkers." Boom, social media imploded. OVO fans clapped back. Peg Lang supporters clowned Drake mercilessly. The memes were everywhere. Drake photoshopped as a chess piece, Reigns as a queen moving across the board. Kendrick holding the entire industry like a puppet master. And through all of it, not one tweet from Drake, not a word. The silence was deafening. But if you listened closely, you could feel the thunder rumbling. Rumors started flying that Drake was working on a documentary, one that would show his side of the story, a deep dive into the industry politics, the betrayals, the power plays. Insiders said the project would expose the business moves behind the Kendrick beef, including booking sabotage, diss rollout interference, and even sponsorship manipulation. Fans were hyped. Skeptics called it damage control. But if true, it could flip the narrative. Because what if Reigns wasn't the hero people thought she was? What if there were deals, clauses, and cuts that painted her in a different light? What if Drake's silence wasn't defeat, but calculation? All eyes were on OVO Fest, set to return in Toronto later that summer. Fans wondered, would Drake use the stage to air it all out, drop new music, bring out surprise guests, or maybe, just maybe, respond the only way he knows how, with receipts? And in the middle of it all, Kendrick stayed silent. Reigns kept building, and fans. They stayed locked in, refreshing feeds, waiting for the next move in the biggest power struggle hip-hop has seen in years. Summer in Toronto hit different that year. The air buzzed with anticipation, like the whole city was waiting for something big to go down. And they were, because OVO Fest was back, and this time, it wasn't just about the music, it was about the message. After months of silence, rumors, betrayal, and the biggest booking agent flip in the industry's recent memory, all eyes were on Drake. Fans wanted answers. The industry wanted receipts. And Drake, he was about to deliver something that had everyone on edge. Tickets for the fest sold out in 5 minutes. Merch booths were stocked with cryptic tees that read, "Not everything gets posted." Fans clocked it immediately, his first shot since the Kendrick diss war. The stadium was packed wall to wall, cameras everywhere, influencers sitting front row, and Drake stepped on stage at 10:08 p.m., dressed in all black, no features, no guests, just a mic and a look that said, "This ain't playtime." He started the set with classics, headlines, energy, Tuscan leather, but at the halfway mark, everything shifted. The lights dimmed, a screen lit up behind him. What played next wasn't a song. It was a montage. Behind-the-scenes footage, boardroom clips, old studio sessions, screenshots of text messages, booking documents with redacted names. But fans knew who it was. It was a visual dissection of everything that had gone down. Then his voice echoed. They thought it was silence, it was structure. Boom, the crowd screamed. Drake dropped a brand new track live on stage, unreleased, untitled, a 5-minute lyrical nuke that didn't mention Erica Reigns or Kendrick by name, but made it clear exactly who he was talking about. Played both sides like it's poker night, helped the ops set up stage lights, told him where and when I land, right? Now you talking like you staying right? The crowd erupted. Fans screamed every bar like they'd been waiting for it. Drake didn't just rap, he unloaded. References to loyalty, betrayal, power, and snakes in his circle. He even referenced the billboard in Toronto. "You lit red lights on my turf. I light stadiums in your nightmares." It was poetic, petty, and perfectly timed. And just like that, Drake flipped the energy. Because the thing about Drake, he knows how to lose a round but win the crowd. He made himself the underdog, again. Fans who had doubted him a month ago were back on the timeline saying, "Nah, this man different." Memes shifted, new playlists dropped, influencers started whispering about a possible Drake redemption arc. But behind the scenes, the battle wasn't over. Kendrick's camp stayed quiet. Poglang didn't respond. Erica Reigns didn't tweet. But sources close to the movement claimed it wasn't because they were scared, it was because they were working. Allegedly, Reigns was planning a surprise drop of her own, a full-scale PG Lang experience festival, multiple cities, cross-medium, music, film, art, and not just with Kendrick. She was bringing together a collective. Word on the street was she'd locked in Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator, Sa, and even Childish Gambino for the kickoff. They weren't just responding, they were elevating. But the industry was split. Some executives were worried. If Reigns' model worked, if artists really started leaving labels and major tour promoters behind, this would mark the beginning of the end for the traditional power structure. Big booking agencies would collapse. Label-driven touring cycles would crumble. Artists would own not just their masters, but their stages too. But others were inspired. New acts started reaching out to Reigns privately. Some offered to walk away from existing deals. One up-and-coming rapper even went viral saying, "If Pig Lang gives me a 10, I'll give him my next 3 summers." And still, Drake kept moving. He announced a rebranded tour titled Replay Value, no label partners, limited sponsors, Drake front and center, with a heavy emphasis on storytelling, visuals, and live narrative. Sources say the tour would be framed like a documentary in real time, songs connected to each other by spoken word interludes and real-life confessions. The goal? Reclaim the throne without asking for it back. But let's not forget, this wasn't just about 2 artists anymore. It had grown into something deeper. It was about philosophy. Kendrick and Reigns represented evolution, revolution, artist-first empowerment. Drake represented mastery of the old system, perfected, monetized, and refined. 2 visions clashing not with fists, but with structure. Fans were forced to ask themselves, what kind of future do we want for music? And in between all of that, Erica Reigns became something she never asked for, a symbol, Some saw her as the visionary of the new wave. Others painted her as the snake who bit the hand that fed her. But the truth, it was probably somewhere in the middle, a woman who played the game better than the men who built it, who realized the only way to change the rules was to leave the table and flip it over. By the end of that summer, the music industry was forever changed. Artists weren't signing the same deals. Promoters started updating contracts. Some agencies quietly offered more flexible terms, clearly feeling the heat. Fans had more access, more control, and more direct connections to their favorite acts than ever before. And the beef? Well, maybe it never ended. Maybe it just evolved. Drake and Kendrick stopped trading shots. No more disses, no more subs, just moves. Rain stayed off socials, but kept stacking wins. Pig Lang's next rollout was already in motion, and OVO, still standing, bruised maybe, but not broken. Some fans say we're living in the post-war era. Others say the Cold War still simmers under the surface. But one thing's for sure, what started as a lyrical shootout turned into a cultural revolution. Careers shifted, power changed hands. And the industry? It learned that in 2025, your pen might be sharp, but your blueprint better be sharper. And just like that, the curtain closes on one of the most dramatic power plays hip-hop has ever seen. What started with bars ended with boardrooms. What looked like just another lyrical battle between two rap giants turned into a full-scale shakeup of the entire music industry. From backstage betrayals to front-page headlines, we've watched legends take losses, power players switch teams, and a booking agent, Erica Reigns, turn into the most talked-about figure in the game without dropping a single verse. Drake may have clapped back with new music and a show-stopping OVO fest, but the truth is, this war wasn't about one song. It was about control, about ownership, about vision. And whether you ride for OVO or wave the Pig Lang flag, one thing's for sure. The lines have been drawn and the culture will never be the same again. So now we turn it over to you. What side are you on? Was Erica Reigns wrong for switching camps? Did Drake handle it right? Or is he still playing catch-up? Is Kendrick building a new empire or just stacking wins in silence? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button if you're here for the behind-the-scenes drama the blogs don't talk about. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next twist in this ongoing saga. And turn those notifications on, because trust us, there's always more coming. We got eyes on the tours, ears in the meetings, and fingers on the pulse of everything shaking the game right now. This is more than music. This is legacy in the making. Until next time, stay locked, stay loud, and stay legendary. We out.